So I think we may gradually start. So in case of some people may join simultaneously. Okay. So to put in the outset, so how you felt in the exam? So what was your take on your exam? Yes, Preeti, yes, please.
Sure, it was not that great.
Hmm.
I could recognize my flaws in preparation.
Hmm.
Uh, the subjects which I have revised at the end moment, I was able to attempt them well.
Okay.
This was the first attempt I gave with
Hmm.
preparation,
Hmm.
and I started preparing from January. So I
Okay.
didn't even prepare for mains answer writing still. I directly went for writing
Okay.
prelims exam.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
couldn't make time out to solve many questions before the exam. Maybe that's the reason I was not able to tackle questions with skill. Somewhere I'm
Okay.
lacking the
Okay.
skill of
Okay.
tackling. Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
I
See,
couldn't
in
reach
general,
good
yeah.
marks. Mm,
Okay.
mm,
See, in general, when you see the paper as a fresher, so many of you are freshers and you're going to attempt in the forthcoming year. So there are three important things which you need to see in this question paper. Okay. So the first one is that you can see out of 100 questions. So directly there are around 42 questions. So it is 40 plus questions you can see they are from the basics. Okay, directly from the basics. That is, anyone who is preparing for civil services at the basic threshold knowledge, what we actually quote, that threshold knowledge can give you 40 plus questions directly attempted with. Got it? Say what I'm telling is that, say, like Delimitation Commission, Lok Sabha, so in geography, some basics questions on isotherms, right? So these are certain questions where you find it in your books, where you have it in the basic text, what you're going to have in NCRTs and so on, and that will fetch you a good mark. Say, for example, they generally will say 50 question is a basic threshold. I mean, goal what we have, right? So 50 to 60% of the total score is your general cutoff. That's a general ideal thing what we have. So though it may be plus or minus. So to be comfortable, we say 50%. That means 50 questions. So out of 50 questions, almost 40 questions are there directly from what you call that is the basics. So this is a fundamental thing what you need to remember always. So it is not going to work with just piling up of books or notes or materials, e-copies or anything, but your fundamentals from your basic textbooks like NCRTs, from your basic reference book, what you have for your geography or history or whatever it is. So they will fetch you almost 40% of the mark initially itself, right? Then the current affairs based direct questions like what you have uh, the PAFS, that is perfluoro components or substances kind of questions, or biomarker, bioreactors kind of questions, or the nuclear battery, what you call the RTG technology kind of. So these are direct questions which you have. So when you count them, it goes around a maximum of 20 questions which are directly from current affairs. That is direct representation without any what do you call the basics which you have or concepts which you have directly in the book. Okay, it's purely based on current affairs, right? So I don't consider it as schemes and all. So schemes that is different. I'm talking directly, which is something is happening in the current, so you are having it in the question. So that we call it is the direct current affairs question. So hardly it may be around 15 to 20 questions, right? So 40% of your questions are addressed through your basics. Then 20% of your questions are directly addressed from current affairs. That is from direct current affairs. Right? It may be known, it may not be known because according to our preparatory standards, so that 20% is 50-50 choice what we may have, right? So apart from that, what you have in this sense, the remaining part, that is your, uh, 30 to 40 questions. So those are the areas which are derived from current affairs or those which are from general understanding, general awareness. Okay. Say, for example, the questions on lion, leopard, cheetah. Okay. So these are general understanding, so you don't have it in a textbook that cheetah doesn't roar, kind of. So it's a general awareness, what we actually get it from various sources. So when you start reading, when you start preparing, it can be from televisions, or it can be from any news article, or your general videos or films or whatever, wherever you gather. There are, at least I have seen these years, almost this general awareness, general observation, what you get from various fields. We can get it understood in this aspect. Okay. So one or two questions you will get in that particular manner. So this 30 to 40 which are derived from current affairs are the one where we try to interpret. That is, interpret in the sense, okay, so this is a question which is derived from this particular issue, right? Say, for example, the heat circulation, what they speak about in ocean currents and so on. So these are something which is derived out of certain current happenings, and they have connected it to the basic concepts. Okay. So when you're good in concepts, you can leave out the current affairs part, which is linked to that particular concept, but you can attend that particular concept. Okay, so these are the three basic type of questions what we actually had in this particular question, not only here, but in almost the last few decades. But the thing is, the ratio may vary, the presentation of the question may vary. And I'm happy that much of the ambiguity in the question paper has been reduced, and it is almost one or two questions which are more ambiguous, whereas almost other questions are not, like unlike previous years, especially last year. Okay, there were many questions which were ambiguous with the statements and answers which we had. So this time that clarity is there with your prelims. So you can understand that there is nothing called as a trend in UPSC. So you can see there are many questions which I asked previously in environment. Now they are not. You can see history questions which are almost cultural background questions. And you can see geography, which is more current than more of concept. So it keeps on revolving, right? So how to handle it? The best thing is go to fundamentals, which we reiterate again and again. The fundamentals that I call as the threshold knowledge, that we call it as the basics you gain from NCERT and your basic textbook. These are fundamental, without which this 40 will become a nightmare. So when you have this 40 in your hand, so naturally next 10 to 15 questions out of the 50 questions is very, very easy to gain. Okay, there is no much of issue in this particular aspect. Okay, so this is one set. Whereas the other set, what you need to remember, especially the freshers who are going to attempt completely fresh in 2025, there are two important types of questions which are introduced now. Okay, so that may become a nightmare for some people, especially who are having some issues in factual, what do you call, comprehension, right? So comprehending some facts. Okay. So you can see there are three columned match of following questions. So till now we had only two columns. So A and B will be matched, which are correctly matched. Whereas now we are getting three columns. So three columns in the sense you have a river or you have a mountain, you have a location, you have which part of that particular river is. Say waterfall is area and which river. Okay, mountain, which area, what type of mountain. Okay, so now you need to be very clear about when you are going to read waterfall, you need to talk about the region where the waterfall is or the place where the waterfall is, and then not only the rivers, what you are going to have. Right. So this type of many facts which are going to be, because the column A, one fact can be wrong, column B, one fact can be wrong, column C, one fact can be wrong, or all can be mismatched. So the combinations are increasing. When I increase the number of, as of now, 3 into 3 into 3 matrix is given. So tomorrow it can be 4 into 4 into 4. So naturally the number of comparatives what you need to get into is very high. So especially you can see these type of columns have been largely found in geography questions. So that means in geography next year, you can expect almost even all questions who knows, right? All questions can be in that particular format also, right? So be ready with that type of preparation. So when you are going to prepare for not only for geography, it can be in history, it can be in polity, wherever the facts can be asked, so it can be matched in that particular manner. Okay. So I don't suppose they are going to extend it to a larger way in other subjects, but they may in what do you call environment and geography, they may increase it in the next year, okay, coming years. So this is one type of question where you need to be careful in reading these aspects. So how to take it? Have a comparative study. So what are all the similar areas where you can have? So that can be grouped and have a columns, have the marking. Say history also, it can be possible. One area dynasty, one area founders, the other area can be region. So that can also be a possible question in coming years. In what do you call the environment, it can be species, it can be native or not, and it can be whether endangered or not, it can be given in that way. So there are many subjects which are prone to these type of master following in the column wise, right? So next year, you should not be shocked to see that type is getting more, and you need to be even having some sense of understanding in other subjects where it can be easily merged with. Okay, that is point number one. Point number two, there are usually we had assertion reason statements, and now past 3 years they are giving it as statement one, statement two questions. But now they have introduced statement one, statement two, statement three questions, right? So in that, what they are doing, statement one is there, statement two and three can be reasons, cannot be reasons. So there are multiple combinations which comes in, right? So they have identified that one statement one, statement two alone, you're cracking it easily. So now they are going in for three type of statements. So there too, they have introduced economy there, geography there, right? So possibility of increasing the that type of questions which will actually try to get it much more confused because there are more options which can be provided. Because either of the statements can be wrong or both can be right, both need not be reason or any one of the thing can be reason. So there are much more combinations which can play up. Okay. So be careful in these statement one, statement two, statement three type. So these two are the two important type of questions which are introduced to you. Definitely next year you can find it more, right? And one better thing is that how many type of statements, that is only one statement is right, only two statements are right, or only one pair, two pair. That type of questions which I found completely in 2023. Now it has been reduced, and again that one only, two and three only. So the previous type of questions are also found. So in 2025, your question paper is going to be pretty clear that your question is going to be uh, 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 having a full of mixture of it's like a salad, right? So you will have how many types of question, that is how many statements are correct, that type of questions, that is only one statement, only two pairs, only one or two kind of. Then standard one only, two and three only, one, two, three, four, that type of statements are going to be there. Three statement assertion reason type questions are going to be there. Then three column master following is going to be there. Okay, so these type of mixed model is going to be provided to you. So be aware with that and try to prepare them in that particular models. So in next set of preparation, realign your ideas. Okay, so you think what all the questions can be asked in these columns. So that will enhance your preparation, that will enhance your performance in the exam also. Clear? So this is a fundamental thing what you need to remember in this exam, right? So these are the two important understanding what we can get. Clear? And the third thing what I want to deliver is that don't go with the cutoffs. Okay, so never ever we got the cutoffs expected and the real is going to be matched. Okay, so even last time 2023 they said the cutoff will be around 85 plus or it's going to be 85 to 90 or 80 to 85. So some said 80 to 85, some said 85 to 90, and so on. Almost everything gone wrong. If you know what the cutoff was, it was hardly 75 for gender. So all-time low it was. And there were attempts where they had 95 to 100 plus, but we ended up in 88. So all times these juggling of numbers is going to be. So the so-called scientific exit polls itself go uh, uh, to scoop. So why to have these cutoff things which we are going to have now? So don't fall for cutoffs. Those who are attempted, whether you feel you will jump through the fence or not, if you are going really to carry forward this particular process of exams, then go to the next process, that is mains preparation. Correct? Say for example, if I'm in the third attempt, I made it, but I couldn't make it. I wish that I will do the fourth attempt. That means, say I feel that today I didn't do well, but I'm going to stay here and I'm going to take part in the forthcoming attempts. That is, the fourth attempt is going to be happening. Then actually, whether I clear prelims or means, prelims, I'm into the race again for the next year. So start from the mains here. Don't leave a gap. Just don't get it just cooled off. So try to keep the pace at least with a gradual move where you start preparing for mains as if you are going to appear for mains. So you concentrate on options, you concentrate on other aspects, upkeep yourself. So you analyze why we went wrong in 2024. Then I'm going to appear in 2025. What are all the things I have to keep it in mind? So all these plans, you have it, right? So that will help you a lot in getting things done. And similarly, try to ponder out why this question was asked. In case if if you have really worked well in current affairs, but you couldn't find something in question paper, find out why this particular question was asked, when it was there. So whether it was in a couple of years before, or you try to get some insights about where the questions were taken from. That is current affairs I'm talking about, not for concepts, right? Concept, wherever it is going to be, it is the same concept that they are going to ask. But for current affairs, sometimes there may be certain faults we may have. So we would have just discarded that particular question, but they would have asked. So understand why they actually asked for. Okay, so that is really important part, which in case if you want to really research with, that is the people who attempted and want to understand that. Okay, so these type of things which can be done for those people who have attended and they want to uh, move forward. Okay, so for those who are freshers and you have seen this particular question paper and how the euphoria was, always remember the question paper is not going to be easy, right? So those who say easy, you find them after checking out, so they'll find that they have missed somewhere. Okay, so question papers are not generally easy as you take it. So when you're having the question paper felt as easy, definitely you need to be very, 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 very careful, double the careful when you feel the question paper is very tough, right? So that's a moral of the story. Every year we teach, because every time people feel that they are having easy things to do, naturally they will end up missing things there. Okay, because that casual mindset, say you take it for granted the words, you take it for granted the questions, because the psychology is in upbeat, because you're feeling that question is very what do you call, easier, right? So in that outset, so I have given you what the take home for freshers and what the take home for the people who have attempted prelims. For that, the basics is very important. Now, have problems in handling this particular question paper, which has 40% of the question as concepts. the remaining part, see, the game is not with that 40 because that 40, okay. The game is the rest. The rest is given. So how I'm going to eliminate them? What type of statements I'm going to eliminate? Okay, what type of statements I need to rethink? What type of words I need to be very careful all about? So that is very, very important where people uh, go in fault. Say, for example, there are questions which you can see in schemes where there will be a sentence with a compounded word. That is okay. So understand which part of there are many areas where the second part of the sentence goes wrong. So there are many areas where the facts go wrong. Say, for example, in that Shram Yogi Man Yojana, I think so. So actually the question paper gives, but actually the age is 18 to 40, right? So slight variation in those tweaking of facts. So where the facts are being tweaked. And certain questions, there will be very uncommon, say for example, the radar question, where you found that radar, many of people I could see, they have made a radar detecting for drug, narcotics in aircraft is not possible. But actually, the very question was based on that. That was a news actually in 2003, 2004. There were Western countries bringing out new type of radar technology, radar guns, radar things put in airports where they could detect people carrying chemical or synthetic opioids even while entering into the airport. So that is 1 kilometer away, a few meters away. So they could detect it. So that is actually the actual question, right? So, but people couldn't predict it because even in keys, I could see some have wrong, right? But actually, that was a news. These are the one. Say in science and technology, they are very crazy upcoming technology. So you take 3D printing. So you know it is an upbeat now, right? You go and check in the UPSC. So you know that in 2001, 2, 3, all these are 3D printing is very, very popular. But you go and see in UPSC which year they asked in mains 3D printing. Okay. Before 5 years, they asked about 3D printing. Okay, that is what the UPSC is crazy about, the upcoming technologies, right? So they are not for popular technologies. They are for upcoming technologies. So remember, these are some keys, when you want to have science and tech understood. So these are some keys where you have it from current affairs. So where the upcoming technologies come in, you be sure they are going to ask for. Clear? And uh, like current affairs, what do you call that? Animal questions. So cicadas and others. It's a standard model what we have also trained up in the prelims mentoring. So they give you 3 or 4 words so that you can easily predict it. Okay, cicada is the one which was in current affairs. So we have identified new butterfly cicadas which we have given in current affairs also. So these butterfly cicadas are the first time discovered in northeastern India. So cicadas came in news. So automatically you know insect. So remaining part of the question you may not know. So they have given 4 different insects. The other 3 may not be known, but you know cicadas, right? What you need to know as a fresher is that so where the others, why cicadas were asked, why that particular thing was asked. So try to get them and understand what they are. So from where they have taken it, why it was a news. So what type of news it was, whether it is first time. Say cicadas, first time we have identified. So it is important. Similarly, whether that particular frog insect came in news for the first time. So that will give you a clear-cut idea why this particular insect is important. When all other insects are there, why I need to know about cicadas, right? That is what it is. Clear? Leopard is in news, cheetah is in news, lion is in news, right? You know, cheetah, 1 year of completion, leopard census, and you had lion because of frequent death of lion in India. So then they went with the general understanding of lion. Okay, how lions breed, how leopards live, because it's not just like that, the statement what you have taken. When you see the leopard census, there is an actual news how leopards survive. So they say leopards survive more with tigers, okay, and where the tigers are not uh, in the core, I mean, peripheral areas, the peripheral areas are flooded with leopard. So they were talking about the links between leopard and tiger population. So how the territory of leopard is there. So that is the actual core of the survey. Got it? So why in certain areas leopards are more, in certain areas leopards are less? Because leopards are found across India, unlike other two, that is lion and tiger. So in that particular way, so they have understood the basic core of the survey, and they have taken up that particular survey and they have just made it simpler. But anyway, that simpler idea is that you know that because you haven't read that particular survey, but it's through general awareness what you have. So that's a idea. Any animal will have a territory and they'll mark the territory. It's a animal habitat, right? So you know that. So same way, cheetah. So 1 year completion of cheetah. Say same way lions. So how they have the reproduction cycle. So all these are not just a statement, just like that they have asked. Okay, so they had it with a purpose, and they had it with certain what do you call a center of uh, putting that particular question to know how you are aware of certain beings, right? So every question has its own most important aspect of it. So try to understand that valuable aspect. Okay, those pressures. So try to ponder in these areas where you can get a very good insight about this particular exam. So say don't hear these markets. That is all of ringing bells. So it's unwanted ringing of bells. What you have, you least bother about cutoff, least bother about whether the question paper is easy or tough. Because when you're going to do it, when I know it is easy, when I am not unknown with certain questions, it is difficult. Okay. Everybody said 2023 was difficult. I know people, students who have scored 110 plus 120 in that so-called tough papers. Okay. For them, the paper was easy, you know. They couldn't qualify because they slipped in CSAT. That is a paper 2. So it's all about how we see the paper. So don't go with type of what do you call, what type of I mean the quality of questions, where they took it, what source they took it. They'll come with the various books. They'll list the books from this book they have taken it ditto. So yesterday they took it in some way books, today they will take it in some other book. Okay, you can't follow the books, but you follow the concept of the questions where they taken up. So that is very, very important. So don't go by the market ratings. Don't go by your what do you call the ringing bells of the market. Try to have your UPSC question itself as your touchstone of preparation. That will help you a lot. Okay. So that is very, very important in this regard. Don't go by the market sayings. Don't go by, say it's like a stock market, you know, don't go by that market. Uh, but actually speaking, the reality is different. Okay. So come back to the consciousness of that reality, analyze the question paper in this particular mode, and you will have a very good preparatory what do you call the experience what you have. Okay, and naturally understand the skill set what you need to have. So to solve these problems, when I want to have some skill set, so what type of questions are there, which part I need to sever, which part, which is a keyword, what keyword I need to pick up, what word I don't want to have it. So that is a training or mentoring what you actually require. And what you actually want to prepare is that threshold level of knowledge. So the basic threshold level of knowledge and with the basic skill set, anyone can clear this exam with that ease, without any discomfort or without any issues, with irrespective of what you the toughness of the paper, because toughness of the paper is subjective. Okay. So today also, some people say it is tough, for some people it may be easy, right? Because it's all how we perceive what we know, how we know, right? So that's a thing. So I may feel it easy because I know all 90 questions. But at the end of the day, how much I score. So even if I feel 90 questions are easy, I may score less. Even if I feel 90 questions are tough, I can score more. That's the rule of the game. Got it? So understand that game, try to prepare well. Fine. Hope I have given some limelight, some insights about this particular exam. It's an interesting exam, interesting game, you know. So when you attempt it, you will know, right? That exam atmosphere will give you. So all the best, and try to prepare with these insights and try to believe in you. You try to analyze and bring in that enlightenment from within. Don't fall for your market sounds, because remember, there is a noise around the market. Since 13 lakh people appear or apply, even at least 50% appear. That means, say, 7 to 8 lakh people appear, right? So in that 7 to 8 lakh people, only 15,000 people are going to clear the prelims. So their voice is not to be heard, whereas the noise of that particular remaining, okay, so the so-called 7 lakh and odd people are going to be heard. So that is a problem. Okay. So don't ever hear the noise. Try to filter those noise. Hear some voices which brings you reality, and believe in that particular reality. You can go with clear mind where you can always stay ahead. Clear? So thank you. In case of any questions, you can ask me now. So I'm here to answer all questions of yours. Yes, please.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Yeah.
Sir, so I'm going to give my attempt next year, 2025. That will be my first attempt. And I've started preparing the foundational courses. That is, I've started with geography. I just wanted to know how I can optimize my preparation because I was advised that I should first finish the whole syllabus completely, and advisably by November I should be done with the whole syllabus, and by November onwards I should start connecting it with current affairs and start preparing. So I just wanted to know how I can optimize that preparation. Should I just merely focus on completing the syllabus right now, or should I also additionally do something else as well?
Okay, so you have started preparation by June this time. Which month you have started?
I just graduated in May, and I'm preparing from June onwards.
So you have just started now. Okay, hardly
yes, sir.
2-3 weeks you are doing it. Okay.
Correct, sir.
See, first you generally focus on grasping those fundamentals in every subject. Okay. Your focus is on two things. One, understanding the nature of the subject, and number two, understanding the fundamentals. Okay. Don't care about anything else. Okay. So this is what your prime objective. Parallelly, what you can do, try to read newspapers, try to listen to some, say, radio news or some one-to-one talks in Rajya Sabha or Lok Sabha televisions. Any informed discussion. Okay, I'm talking about any informed discussion, not just blah blah kind of.
Understood,
so those will give you some insights about certain current issues which are coming in. So even if you're not going to take any notes, at least your ears will get into that particular important news, and that will register it in your minds. When you're doing your fundamentals, at right time, you will get some connect what is going to happen. Say, for example,
Understood.
you're listening to a discussion on monetary policy. You may not know what monetary policy is as of now, because you may not know what economy is, because you would have read it in your schools, if so, if not. So you may not know what inflation is. You may not just know inflation is price rise. But there would have been a very good discussion with when you hear in radio So you come back when you listen to the lectures on inflation, say 2 or 3 months later, immediately you can get link to it. Okay, so okay, fine. So previously we had that. So that linkage will automatically happen and consciously you can also do. Okay. But as of
Right,
now,
sir.
your concentration is going to be fundamentals and your what do you call the focus on your basic text and the nature of the subject. Parallelly, you do prepare for current affairs, but don't be conscious that try to make it notes because initially when we start taking notes, we'll take up everything. Okay.
Understood, sir.
So, say to be frank, when I was preparing in my nasal stage in 2005, I even noted down NIIT was started in a particular place. I was unaware that NIIT is a private institution which does some those stuff, right? What do you call that? What to put that? The extra trainings which we have C++, the standard thing.
Yeah.
So when I
Yeah.
saw that NIIT, I was confused with those NIITs. I thought it was kind of a national institution. So that's a initial hiccups what we may have because of anxiety of knowing things. But gradually we can understand. Okay, so this is what it is, and it's not going to be asked. So when you do that particular subject, go to previous year questions. So what type of questions they ask? So that is actually the key breaker there. So how to take current affairs. So go to that particular page. So remember that two things in current affairs. One, not all what we think as important may not reflect. Since it is not reflected, it doesn't mean that what you thought was not important. Say for example, there are certain things which are happening. It is important, no doubt about it. But for UPSC, for certain reasons, they may think that this is important, but still everybody knows that. So there is no scope of asking it. So I skip this today and I will keep it for something else. Got it? Or they may put it in some other exams. So it can be in CAPF or it can be in other exams also. Got it? So it doesn't mean that since it doesn't appear in this 2024, it doesn't mean that we are going in wrong path. So don't have it in that way also.
Understood, sir.
Understood. So it's both the ways, but focus on how the questions are from where. That's what I said. Why this particular insects were asked. So you just Google it out and find out which year it came and what was the relevant news behind it. Just not for all, but at least for 10 questions when you understood. When you understood the line of thought of UPSC, you can easily understand what current affairs is all about. Okay? So focus in that way. For as of now, as you were advised, it was right. So you go with the fundamentals. That's very, very important because 40% is going to be that.
Got it, sir.
Right.
And also about optionals, I wanted to know, although it relates to mains, like as I'm currently preparing the foundations for the general studies, should I also parallelly do my optional subject or should I wait until I'm done with all my?
Yeah, it can be as your wish because since you say you are going to appear on that is May 2025, and you know that by May have the exam coming portion, that is GSN option. Okay, that is my humble opinion because after prelims, when you are going to clear prelims, you will have around 80 to 90 days, which will be sufficient for reorienting your preparation to mains, answer writing practices, current affairs orientation. So bringing in jargons, how to your focus will be on how to present that particular knowledge what you have in that particular number of words. Okay, and in that particular time period, you can't go for a crash course in particular course, say in a particular topic or in option and so on. So parallelly
Understood,
you
sir.
can do it because now you're not going to do much about it. Say you're not going to read for 14 hours a day kind of. So definitely you can manage. If you are a full-time preparator, you can definitely manage GS and option, no doubt about it. So hardly the options may carry forward for 4 to 5 months max. Any institute, I suppose, they do it. Uh, in a normal course means it is 4 to 5 months max. So you can parallelly do it. Say GS may take 1 year complete because you have many subjects, so you have around 10 to 13 subjects which you have to learn. So naturally that will take some time, but for option it is easier. So gradually you do it and parallelly you do it in the initial days itself.
Okay,
so
sir.
that it will be also better for you to reorient your option preparation in the next 4 or 5 months when you are doing it parallelly with GS.
Got it, sir.
Fine. Anybody else have any questions? Others? Yes, please. Yes, Bhaskar.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Uh,
Yeah.
I started my preparation with National IAS in late March. So this is my
Okay.
2025 is also going to be my first attempt.
Okay.
Uh, and I didn't give this attempt of 2024. Since I was listening to you and you said that your voice was breaking, but from what I could catch, you said that 40% of the prelims will be
Hmm.
concept based, and I guess the
Hmm.
rest will be 60% will be fact based. So I have three questions basically, sir. First and foremost, how to look after the remaining 60%. Secondly, sir,
Hmm.
you for if when we are preparing for the paper one of the mains essay, how to prepare for that. And third, sir, since Ashwin asked regarding the optional, sir, how would you compare optionals between philosophy and history,
Hmm.
these two
See
particular
the
subjects?
fine. So the first thing, 40% yes, fundamentals weak. It is from fetched from current affairs around 20% and mix of current affairs and concepts in the remaining 30 to 40 questions. Okay, so that's a basic mix. So what to do with that remaining 60? So remember, out of 100, you need not solve all 100. Okay, so what you need to do, 40, and with this 40 or with this basic knowledge or 40 or 50, whatever it is. So you have some concept questions, you have solved that concept questions. With this base of concept question, you're going to go for the next set of questions, which are also concepts, but there may be some statements or elements which are from current affairs also. Okay, so that type of questions will be there. So you can use your eliminating, that is where the skill happens. So this particular skill set, which is going to provide you that ability to use your knowledge to unlock that particular current affairs twist or trap and then solve that particular question. So that is where the skill set works. Whereas for current affairs, if you are going to prepare current affairs on your own, you can have some insights in that. Or if you are going to believe in some materials, from that knowledge, you can solve that. And personally and professionally, I always say, you need not worry about all 100. Try out of 100, you need to have around 50. So grab that 50. So wherever it is. So understand that particular technique and grab them wherever it is. It can be concept, it can be current affairs, it can be in middle. Got it? That is what the first part of the question is. The second part of the question, I remember that you are asking about the options, right?
Yes,
So yeah.
yes, sir. Just to repeat the first part of the question, so basically, when you said those 40% are concept based, so those 40% are completely static. Is that what you are saying?
So it need not be. Say a simple question. I will put it in that way. In way back, I remember before 2011. So there was a question. So there was a Chief Justice of India who was appointed, right? So the news says that so and so Chief Justice of India has been taken oath and affirmation by the President and was appointed, and he is well versed in constitutional cases, especially in the original jurisdiction. So this is the news. The question asked was, the Constitution provides for original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. So which of the following are the such original jurisdiction? So they gave 1, 2, 3. So this is actually a concept question, but has some current affairs influence. Got it? So why this question was asked now? Because of that current affairs issue. So you can put it in current affairs, you can put it in concept. That's up to you. Okay. Say for example, today money bill was asked. Today speaker position was asked. Today governor's role in identifying tribes were asked. Everything has a basic preposition in current affairs. For that reason, it was asked. But they are direct concepts. So whether you know the current affairs or not, immaterial to it, you can attend these fundamental questions. Understood?
Okay, sir.
So remaining questions, there can be directly from current affairs, say where, for example, missiles will be asked. So nowhere you can find a missile in textbook, right? That's the latest development, what they are going to ask, say 5th generation aircraft. All these are direct current affairs questions where you need to know from the newspapers. There is no other source for that. Clear? That is direct current affairs question. So in between is that there are certain concept questions or from textbook they will have, but one or two statements, it will be from the newspapers. Got it? Like
Okay,
schemes, like what do you call the questions which can have some new developments. Okay, so some traditional static development would have been there. Some new development would have been there that would have been added. Got it? So that is the in between. Understood that?
yes, sir.
So
Uh,
all 100 questions may have a current affairs base also. We may not know because there is that's what I said. There is a purpose for asking every question. Got it?
okay, sir. Yes. Sir, I was
Hope
saying
I
that
cleared your first doubt.
yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, I understood the first part. Only thing is, sir, that since you are also talking about reading the newspaper so I was saying that is it compulsory that one reads Hindu or is Indian Express also fine?
it's up to you. It's up to you. So say I could see Hindu newspaper, Hindu Business Line, Express, uh, sometimes Times of India. Almost news in across is reflecting. Okay, so it doesn't mean that you need to follow one particular newspaper. General, say newspaper reading is general reading. Okay, so even a day before the exam, when you read a newspaper, there may be a continuity news which would have reflected that will help you to solve a problem. So it is a habit and it is habituation of certain uh, knowledge, getting awareness about certain things, right? So it's not a must kind of, you need to have this newspaper for that. So it's not like that. You need to, the idea is that when you take up newspapers regularly, you will read something regularly. When you read something regularly, the mind will be fresh with that particular information. Okay, so that's the idea. Nothing more. Okay, so your second question, well, the third one was on options that will come later. Second question, you asked something.
Yes, sir. Second question was regarding the practice of paper one in essay, paper one in mains, which is essay
Yeah.
writing.
So see, essay writing is normal answer writing. Okay, at the outset, what you do it in 250 words or 300 words, you are going to do it in 1,500 words. But how it differs, the question breaking, breaking the question, the keyword, the structure of the answer, everything is almost same with your other GS answers, but you will be extrapolating it. That's all. But where it differs is your answers in general studies paper is going to be subjective. Okay. It tests your subject knowledge. Say, for example, I'm writing an history answer for 250 words. It tests history knowledge, society knowledge, geography knowledge, ethics knowledge, kind of. Whereas in essay, it is testing your English, your communication, your flow of thought, your rational belief, your logics, your concise ability, likewise. That means an essay answer is not subjective. They are not going to test your intelligence there. They are going to test your communication, right? That means how far your concepts in understanding the concept and communicating the concept is legible. How concisely you comprehendibly, how concise, comprehensive, and coherently you're presenting it. How simply or simplicity in your language, legibility in your language is going to be there. Okay, so that is going to be tested actually. So this is the actual line of difference between what languages, I mean, what essays and what GS answers. Got it?
Yeah,
So
okay, sir.
focus
Yes.
on English part of the essay or your language part of the essay, because sometimes people may use their mother tongue also to write language part of it. Okay. The third one, option. See, option, there is nothing called as one option is better over the other. It's all about how the individual perceives. Say, for example, if you are comfortable with history, yes, of course you can. If you are comfortable with philosophy, you can. Okay. Just because philosophy, when I take, I can score better, it's not a point of order, because philosophy or history or mathematics or sociology is not going to score. It is a candidate who is going to score. That's more important. Clear? So how we can score? When I understand the nature of the subject, when I understand the syllabus, when I understand the nuances of the subject, interlinking of the subject within the topics as well as with the current affairs, that enhances my performance. So which option you could easily do it? So how can I do it? Go to the websites, just familiar options to you, say sociology, psychology, philosophy, street geography, you just see them, which you can correlate with that particular subject, with that particular topic. You try to take them. So that you can take up as a option, right? So that is more easier and that is more viable, because options you need to carry forward them through a long period of time. So naturally, in that case, you need to have it in that particular method, not by method of scoring or just because many people are taking up, we will take it up, or very least number of people are taking, so I have a better chance, so I will take it. Nothing is going to work in that sense. Clear?
Sir, you said going to the websites. Which websites are you
So
referring to?
UPSC has its own syllabus, right? A notification, they have the entire syllabus, so you can just have it. Or the institutions materials, you can see they have given all syllabuses, syllabi together. So in that way also. So just check out online. So which subject you need. So geography syllabus you see. Whether you could understand that, whether you could have at least a feel of line of thought. That is important. The feel is important. Clear?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, my pro.
Yes, sir. Sir, regarding newspaper reading, sir, should we have to read editorials only, sir, or we have to read from first page to last page?
Okay. So see, generally we have this doubt what part of the newspaper is going to be. See, current affairs, I think they have a special session itself on current affairs, how to do it. So I'm not going much into that. So in general, when I am going to have some newspaper reading in how to move about in that particular way, uh, see, any part of the newspaper can be used by a candidate at any point of time to their advantage. Okay. Say simple. There is an supplements to newspapers. Okay. You have lifestyle. In that particular thing also, when you have some captions which are very fanciful, I can use those captions in my answers. Understood the idea? So it's up to your shrewdness how to use a newspaper. Okay. So newspapers can be used in multiple manner. One, remember that newspaper is not for the competitive exam. They are not printing it for competitive exams. They are printing for different class and sections of people. So across gender, across ages. So we are going to use some part of the newspaper in our exams. So you can use the English part, you can use the language or the fanciful words, quotations, likewise. You can take up knowledge from various news articles, what they have. You can get some consolidation on answer writing from editorials. You can see how the presentation is given in by a columnist. So because in the center page of the newspaper itself, you have different aspects. You have lead article, you have opinions, you have columns, right? You have open page or open to read. So there are different categories of writings. So if you really want to get into essays, you can see different types of writings. So different presentations of that particular idea. So all these you can get it from newspapers. Okay. So it is up to you what you look for in the newspaper. If I'm going to look for facts, yes, I can. If I'm going to look for answers, I can. If I look for perspectives, I can. If I look for English, I can. If I look for some phrases, idioms, and fanciful use of languages, yes, I can. So what you want, you can take it, but have clarity in that. Understood? That's why I didn't specifically mention any newspaper. I didn't specifically mention which part you read. It's all about you. It's all about what one can, because it's all about the time what you can manage. You can't just sit upon it and ponder it on for a long time. So just skimming through newspaper also, it's enough, because I can manage through some magazines or anything. It's okay. See, managing current affairs, it can be easily done without newspapers also. But the thing is, why we, especially personally also, I feel that newspapers will give you a great job, because these are the various advantages you have, which never ever a magazine can give. Clear?
Yes, sir. So next, previous year question paper. How do we approach the previous year question paper, sir? Geography,
Yeah. See,
topic wise.
10 years minimum. I prefer 30 years, but 10 years is minimum. Topic wise, that is subject wise, topic wise. Okay. So subject wise, you segregate it, topic wise, you segregate it. You understand which topic the questions are asked, because there are two types of questions. One is question area and the subject area. Not all subject area falls under question area. Say in geography, you may read complete geography, but only in certain areas the questions will fall. So you can understand which topic the questions are asked more. Why in other topics questions are not asked, whether the scope is not there, or the scope is there but they haven't opened it up. So if they haven't opened it up, you need to be very careful. Today or tomorrow they can open it up. So this understanding you can get only by segregating this particular questions, subject and topic wise. Clear?
Okay, sir. Sir, me being a working professional, sir, I'm now concentrating on GS subject, sir. First, you were saying to Ashwin to parallelly start with optional, sir.
No, that's what I told him, when if he was a full-time proprietor, naturally he can do it parallelly. If you are a working professional, naturally you need to have a long-term preparation. You need to go step by step, but it will take time, no doubt about it.
Okay, sir.
See, remember, the entire preparation in general will have around 1.5 years of time. Okay, if I'm talking about regular student, it will take complete 1.5 years. Okay, one for some time, or 1.5 in case of someone else, according to their capacity. So we can't bypass it. Okay, so I will just do it in 6 months. I'll do it in 3 months. It's not going to do. It will take. So if I'm a working professional, you need to have that entire aspect of a regular candidate. If you are going to get it, then naturally you need to have some more time to do it, because you will do it step by step. So that's a basic thing what you need to understand. If you really want to complete in 1 year, then you need to make it, what do you call, spend some extra energy towards it, and then you can make it out. Yeah.
Sure, sir.
So anybody else having any questions? Thank you. Fine. Okay, so thank you very much for participating in the casual discussion what we had about, and I hope you had a take home from there, how the things were in the 2024 prelims, and I wish you all the best for your upcoming preparations as well as your exams in 2025. Any decision you take in preparation, have an informed decision. Don't go by the market linings. So go by information with your well-informed decision in consultation with some informed people, right? So whether it is going to be source, whether it is going to be preparation, or whether it is going to be any other strategic changes, right? So because market may have their own upheavals and upbeats, but in reality, there are things which are different on ground, right? So all the best once again. Have a consistent preparation. So be positive. Always have a clear idea of understanding that particular exam, right? Remember, it is not going to be an UPSC exam, and it's going to be a completely different competitive exam, which has no parallels across India, because it's, I don't say it is a grand exam, it's something unique. Okay. So it has a competition which comes from different edges, where different people from different background compete, but they also get success irrespective of their positions, okay, of their graduation, of their origin, of their what do you call financial and other abilities, right? So this what do you call that equity is present in this. So that's the reason why it becomes unique, right? So understand that uniqueness of the exam, understand the exam strategies. So don't fall for just gaining more knowledge and turning to be walking encyclopedias, right? All the best again. Happy to see you and happy learning. Thank you.